Wednesday, what is it today? It's the 10th of January, and ChatGPT, OpenAI, has just released the store, and I want to show everybody what the ChatGPT store looks like. And I want to talk to you about some of the excitement, but also about maybe a few things you should be careful of. So let's go ahead and share my screen here and take a look. I know there's been a lot of people waiting around, hoping and waiting for this day that the store would be open. And let's take a look and make sure that we're sharing that screen here. All right, turn it on. There we are. We'll open it up here in the big view so everybody can see what we're talking about. There we go. Make it even better. Let's see here. I actually realized I got to change some of my branding. You don't need to see about my podcast at the moment. Although if you haven't listened to it, we'd certainly love if you would. But let's go ahead and get that background changed here a minute. There we go. Go to something a little bit more basic. So let's take a look here at the screen. So if you take a look here online, you're going to see that, let me see the best screen. There we go. You're going to see that this is the new ChatGPT store. So just launched, according to what I can tell, it launched literally about 20 minutes ago. And when you go into this to access this, by the way, you do need to be a paid subscriber. So if you've got a free account, you're not going to be able to see the GPT store. If you want to get access to the GPT store, all you do is you open up your sidebar and click on Explore GPTs over here, and it's going to bring you right to this screen. And you can see that they've let off with some interesting GPTs that are available. There's one from All Trails here, Research GPT, some other things that are out here. And then they're showing trending ones. So we can take a look here at different trending ones. Notice, and at least I noticed right away when I see this, that a number of these, like AI PDF, these were plugins that could be used within ChatGPT and now moved over into custom GPTs. If you're not familiar with that, ChatGPT had plugins that were available, and they were basically apps that allowed you to do extra functionality that has or is in the process of, if it hasn't already gone away. And they are asking all those app producers to move over to the custom GPT store. So we can say, let's load more here. Let's see what else is coming up here. We've got some other really popular ones like Scholar.ai, Canva. There's some that I'm very familiar with, and I know have been out there for a while to create. But I want to show you one of the ones as we take a look through. First, let's take a look at the tab that was top picks. Then we've got DALL-E custom GPT. So these are custom GPT specifically that are using you to create amazing images. And again, if you've got a Plus account, you should have access to these right now. We can click on any one of these and take a look through. We'll expand and take a look at some others. So things like an image generator, a logo creator, a couple logo creators I see in here, Storybook, create Pixar style illustrations. We've got an image caption generator, a Midjourney prompt generator. That sounds good. In fact, we may try that one out. Under writing, let's see what we've got for writing tools. Some that I can recognize here real quick as I take a look. We've got a Rank Math one. It's a great tool if you haven't used Rank Math. We've got an SEO one, voice tone prompt snippet generator, essay writer, lots of interesting stuff here. Under productivity, this is where you're going to see a lot of the apps that I mentioned that are now moved into custom GPTs. In fact, one of my favorites, number 5 right here, is Web Pilot. If you're not familiar, by the way, some sites are blocking the Bing integration of ChatGPT. So if you go into ChatGPT and you want it maybe to summarize an article for you or something like that, there's a possibility. I'm finding maybe 75%, 25, so about 25% of the time, especially if it's a major site, I'm finding those sites are being blocked. Bing's not working. But the beauty is here is if you use the Web Pilot version, you can click on that and actually visit the site. I've never found a situation yet, knock on wood, where Bing is blocked and Web Pilot is not. Some other very popular ones I saw in here, like I mentioned, AI to PDF and Canva, Slide Maker, which is great for making PowerPoint slides. This is another great one. If you ever need to make a diagram, man, diagrams is a great tool to do that. Definitely something you want to look at. Prompt Perfect's another one of my favorites. If you've got a prompt and you're trying to figure out how to make it better, feed that prompt into Prompt Perfect and it'll tell you lots of stuff. They've even got a GPT finder down here to search for other GPTs. Let's take a look under research and analysis. I really like how they've broken this out. This is very user-friendly, easy to get to. We can see that we've got a number of, again, a lot of plugins that I'm familiar with that have moved over. And this is a great one, by the way. Ask your PDF. If you end up with a PDF that you want to essentially have a conversation with, you can go ahead and use Ask Your PDF, and it will query that PDF. It'll feed back results from you. It's a great tool. Another one I mentioned, Web Pilot earlier. Another comparable one to that is MixerBox's Web Search. Same type of thing. It gives you a third-party browser access. Really, really effective and great if you're trying to get access to other sites that may have blocked the Bing integration. Under programming, I'm not a programmer, but again, some great stuff that looks like in here. Something familiar with from having looked around in the plugin store and that. So great opportunity to figure out how to do some more programming. Let's take a look under education. Lots of things. I really do like the way they've broken down the store here. Makes it really easy to see what's going on, to find what we're looking for. I know when I was in school, the math solver probably would have been really nice. Language coach would have been great. I'm not great at other languages, and it would have been great to have the opportunity to do some practice. So some really good stuff it looks like in here as well. I do notice, by the way, under academic writing assistant, I notice their logo is not showing up. I have seen this with the custom GPT, and I'm curious if you have. Most of these, as you see, have logos in there, but I found that maybe 1 in 10 that I create, the logo seems to disappear. It looks like it's happened here for academic writing assistant. I wouldn't hold that against them. It's probably not on their end. It's probably on the GPT end, but I'm just curious if anybody else has run into that, because I have definitely had that come in a few times. Let's take a look under the lifestyle tab and see what's here. Not as familiar with these overall, but definitely, again, look to be lifestyle related. I get this. This is all looks good. Looks like maybe I can find out what I'm going to watch on Netflix or on TV tonight. Some recipe creators, those would be great. A bunch of other things, nutritional check. Some interesting things. I like this. This is good. And I think that's it. So let's go back up to top picks. I assume these are going to be some of the most popular ones that are out there and that are using. But as you can see, the GPT store is now open. So one of the things that I know we talk about, and there's a lot of talk going on out in the industry on, is what does this mean for creators? Are creators going to be able to go ahead and create custom GPTs and monetize that? And my belief from everything I've been told is that yes, if you're creating custom GPTs now through the GPT store, that OpenAI is going to let you monetize that, and they're going to share some revenue. In my research, they've been very sly as to what's actually going to be shared. In other words, not that they're lying to anybody, they just haven't really disclosed it. So nobody knows exactly how this is going to work. But I want to encourage you, if you've not played around with GPTs, this is a great opportunity with the store to find some, to go try it out, see how they work, and to give your feedback. I also want to encourage you, if you're a business and you're trying to figure out how can I leverage ChatGPT and tools like it to provide more value to my business, a custom GPT might be exactly what you're looking for. And for those of you who don't know, a custom GPT is simply a GPT model or ChatGPT that not only has all of that information, the encyclopedic knowledge of everything that ChatGPT knows, but it now has your specific company information as well, or specific information on a topic you might want to do. So I encourage you to think about how that could help you in your business. Two examples immediately come to mind. One is, imagine creating a custom GPT for your sales team that had pre-canned responses to objections, that had your product information and all that. So your sales team could use this, not necessarily the public, but your sales team, as they were on sales calls and talking to people, would have that readily available to them and for reference. A really effective way to be able to do that. Same type of thing could be true of a customer service team, where you could provide a custom GPT programmed with all of your company's information to that your customer service team could access. And that might be really beneficial. One thing I want to caution you on here, I'm going to go back here and to the share screen. If I go to create a custom GPT, I can do that. And when I go to save that, let's just put in a test here, because I needed to put something in so I can show that. Test GPT. And let's see, we'll create it, test for live stream, which is what we're doing. And instructions, give me advice. So normally you'd put a lot more in here than that. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to put just enough in so I could show you when you go to save a GPT. If you look here in the corner, you'll see you can make it only for you. You can make it for anyone with a link, or make it publicly available to everyone. In this case, I don't have enough information, so it's not allowing us to do that. I have noticed, by the way, the last few days, that feature seems to be turned off as far as making them public. My guess is as they were prepping to go live with the new store, they turned that off. But you can do the only me or anyone with link, or in theory, you can do the everyone. But I want to caution you here. think about this for just a moment, if you would. If you want to go ahead and put your information in here for, let's say, your sales team, as we were talking about, that could be great. The problem I have with that is if you share this, that then can be shared with anyone else that has a custom or a ChatGPT Plus account. That means that even if you just share it with your customer service or your sales team, they can share it with anyone else anywhere in the world that has a Plus account or the paid account. That means that your information could get out. And that's one risk. But even larger risk to me is that custom GPTs can often be, I would say, maybe deprogrammed or unprogrammed. In other words, you can ask questions, and I've talked to two developers that I trust immensely, that in 15 to 20 minutes, most of these GPTs can be hacked, so to speak, to give up all of the information that's been done to program them. Now, am I saying this to scare you away? No, there's some great things out there. If we take a look back at the store and see some of the stuff that's there, there's some great things that are here that you can use. Again, the all trails, and we'll go down to one of my favorites, as I mentioned to you earlier, under productivity here, Web Pilot. I absolutely love this custom GPT, and it's a great way to go ahead and search the web and get web access. So there's not necessarily a danger that Web Pilot's going to have a problem here. But because it's a public GPT and it's being controlled on their infrastructure, it's my understanding that it's possible to get the instruction sets that working behind this. Not saying it's easy, but programmers that know how they're doing it can. And we know there's always nefarious people around. So I want to encourage you, before you release any proprietary information on a GPT, make sure that you've thought that through and that you're being careful. Anything that's publicly available, don't worry about, because it's out there anyway. But keep that in mind. If you're creating a custom GPT, it may be better, if you need to protect that information, to do it through their API instead. And their API works they have an entire ecosystem there that works, that was actually designed even before the ChatGPT interface. So if you're trying to figure out opportunities and how to do that, again, if you want to release it for your company and internal, I want to encourage you just to ask yourself a question. Is this information publicly available, or is this something that I should be making available to everybody? Because if it's not something you want to make available to everybody, and I just realized I switched screens there, it hadn't shown, I apologize. We were just going to the Web Pilot here one. Let's take a look here. Oh, that's my Zoom screen. We don't want that one. There we go. Web Pilot. Nothing like pressing the wrong keys and being back. Let's try sharing this again. Web Pilot. There we go. Now we should be able to see it come up here on screen. There we are. So there's the Web Pilot that I meant to be sharing. That's just an example of what a custom GPT could look like. So anyway, I've probably been rambling, and you may be wondering, Jonathan, what are you talking about? I want to encourage everybody, go out, try these custom GPTs. They're amazing. But before you run out and create one for your business and you start distributing it to internal stuff, if that custom GPT is going to be trained on information that's proprietary to your business, I'm not recommending at this point that you release it into the GPT store, or that you even use this particular platform. Not that you can't use ChatGPT, but I'm going to recommend that you do it through their API instead. That does require a little bit more programming. It's not quite as simple, but you'll be protecting your proprietary information. And I do think that's a very viable concern if you're a business. Let me just ask you this. If your proprietary information got released and your competition found out, by the way, if they did, you'd never know about it. But if they found out, what could that do to damage your business? So right now, again, go out, try these custom GPTs, enjoy these custom GPTs, find things that you can use. There are so many great tools like Web Pilot as an example that do a great job. I encourage you to play around with it. There's been so much excitement about the custom GPT store. Go try it out, test out, find out. It's kind of like when you buy new apps for your phone. There's lots of new stuff you can do, and I want to encourage you to check it out. But if you're a business and you're thinking about creating your own custom GPT, reach out to me. I don't charge you to talk about this stuff, but let's talk about a strategy that would allow you to release and publish a GPT that you maintain control over. So we'll leave it at that. Anyway, the huge announcement, the custom GTP store, after supposed to arrive in December, now in January, on January 10th at noon, it is now live, noon Eastern. So excited for this, excited to do some exploring. And I want to encourage you, take a look at the custom GPT store, have a lot of fun with it, enjoy. And let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about the Custom GPT store. I'd love to hear. With that, make it a great day, everybody. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday at noon. Have a great day. Bye.